Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video on the channel. Bethesda just released a new update for Fallout 76, and for some people it is absolutely huge, and I really don't understand why, because there isn't that much to it. Opening up the patch notes, you'll see that if you're on Xbox, this could have been up to 22.7 gigabytes, whereas on Steam apparently it's up to 2.9 gig. It varies between platforms as always, but overall it's a pretty decent size, especially if you're a console player. Now it would appear they've already started to make changes towards camp changes and stuff like that. You can see here, this is the full list of ones that they've added in. A lot of them's kind of just changing build limits, as you can see, where let's say the several flag variants where you could only craft 3, you can now craft 25. They've reduced the cost of some stuff like the fire watchtower from 25 to 5 wood, and a few other little fixes like with texture fixes and stuff like that, but there's nothing too crazy, I don't think, underneath all of this, so feel free to pause and scan over it, but there's nothing really crazy I think that really needs pointing out. Now under combat we get possibly the only massive kind of major change in this entire update, and that is the bottom one on this list, where they've said they fixed an issue where sometimes corpses, meat piles, ash piles and loot bags disappear before the player can loot them. This is one that was kind of teased for this update, something that a lot of people had been experiencing, whether it be legendary enemies or just standard. A lot of enemies were kind of just disappearing, like not allowing you to actually go and farm them, so it was proven to be quite annoying. This apparently is now fixed. We will have to dive in properly to test this out fully, but fingers crossed that'll be the end of that for the time being, although this is something that does seem to keep popping up from time to time. Other than that, nothing too major in the combat area. They also changed some things around ghouls with a couple of issues there that have kept appearing, which they've now fixed. Under fishing there was only 2 changes with nothing kind of stand out crazy. The biggest fix on there was something to do with the challenge, where basically if you went in the Skyline Valley and caught some fish in rainy weather, it didn't count towards the challenge, so like I say, nothing kind of major. Weapons wise, again, a couple of bugs that was fixed. Bear in mind this entire update is kind of just based around fixing and tweaking some of the bugs that came out in the last update, but the major one on here was all around the sound that would get stuck on when using a chainsaw or an auto axe when attacking after AP was drained. Now I didn't experience this when the AP was drained. I kind of experienced this more when I was using an auto axe, and it was making the noise as if it was actually kind of being used, but turns out it wasn't. So sometimes when I was in third person I would think I was attacking an enemy and they weren't dying or taking damage, and it turns out I wasn't actually spinning it was just making a noise. But apparently that's fixed now. There was a few different fixes around outfits, these kind of more kind of in relation to stuff snapping through different textures. All of these have been fixed in relation to the snorkel mask, the Mothman wing clipper backpack, and also fixed an issue where certain masks and bandanas clip through female faces when they were equipped. There's been a list of 10 different UI changes. Again, nothing too crazy, kind of like localization issues which they've fixed, whether it's been updating little bits and bobs or translating stuff. Nothing out of the ordinary, just little bits and bobs here and there. I think the only one that really stood out to me was the second off bottom, where it said fixed an issue where the transfer menu would fail to show all items when using take all from nearby corpses. I got kind of excited when I first read that, thinking that maybe this meant, when you go up to a body and all of a sudden it won't let you search all nearby corpses, you can just search that one individual one. I was hoping that might be in relation to that, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that would have been a good fix to kind of be out there, but I'm guessing we'll have to wait and see if that's been done. And finally, the last few fixes, which apparently makes this update up to a 22 gigabyte update, is these ones here, which are all miscellaneous. Now, again, looking through them, as you can see on screen, I don't think there's anything kind of crazy in this list. Everything's very kind of plain, every little small kind of changes, which I don't think many people would have actually been kind of reporting, but they were bugs nonetheless. But I don't know, maybe I'm missing something in some of these. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything crazy that I've kind of scanned over and not really thought too much into. The only major change for me in this entire update would have to be the one where it was about the dropped loot that come from enemies that kept disappearing, where that's now been fixed. So hopefully that's the case and that has been fixed, but I just don't get how they've made this a 22 gigabyte update. There's going to be some people sat there with some slower internet, and they're going to be sat there for a couple of hours trying to download this for the most minuscule of changes I think I've ever seen for that size update, which is pretty mad. But I don't know. Let me know what you think about this update down in the comments. Of course, it wasn't one that was meant to be bringing anything crazy to the game. It was just here releasing some bug fixes, like I said. So yeah, you shouldn't really be expecting too much from it. I'm just amazed by the size of the update, that's all. But now though guys, that is it from this update. I've shown you all of the kind of patch notes in a sense without reading through all of them, and just kind of giving you a little gist onto what has actually come in with this update, and probably will be the last update for a couple of months potentially until the next one, unless something major breaks and this releases some crazy kind of duplication glitches or something stupid like that. I don't know, but anyways, that's it kind of for now. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.